Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm ThroneBreaker BT, and for today what we have in here is ThroneBreaker The Witcher Tales. So this game has been developed by the CD Projekt Red, the same developers of the entire Witcher series, and the guys behind the GOG store. Okay, so this game, contrary to all the Witcher games which they have been using their internal engine called Red Engine. This game it is using Unity engine, and therefore it is way more demanding than I was expecting. So I'm running the game with 720p of resolution and every stuff set to the minimum settings. And even despite that, I was expecting to have kind of a very good frame rate, but that's unfortunately not really the case. The game will have a very animated look. It looks like an adventure game point and click, and in fact in the end it ends up to be well, a Gwent game after all. But let's forget about that for a moment. Let's deliver the results. This is the results that I got trying out with the eye settings, the median settings, and actually the settings that I'm using in this video, which is 720p low settings. So whatever the settings you will go, you will have a very playable experience. You can go with the eye settings, having an average of 35 and the 1% low of 23. I don't think that frame rate will get in the way in this game, so you can choose the eye settings if you want and enjoy the game properly. But for me, it kind of makes a little bit confusion in my head how this game it is so demanding, because I don't know. And for me, I think that playing with the low settings barely affects the visuals and delivers better frame rate. The only difference I really noticed from going from the eye settings to 720p low settings, despite a little bit of difference in the clarity of the image, it was the shadows. The shadows, I noticed a difference during the Gwent fights where you put the cards on the boards. There is the shadows look different. Okay, they don't look bad, but they definitely look different. That's the only difference I noticed, and so because of that I really think that you should go with 720p low settings. The most demanding parts of the game are exactly these chat moments between the characters. This is where the game demands the most of your laptop, but when you are traversing the world or when you are fighting Gwents, the performance is rather acceptable. But again, I was expecting to have 60 frames per second very easily, and that's not really the case. I was even expecting to do a video with my Intel integrated graphics cards, but when I tried this game in there, it barely reached 30 frames per second. It was mostly at 20s. So it was way more demanding than I was expecting. But again, with 720p low settings, the graphics of the environment are pretty much the same. Like I said, the only difference for me that I noticed it was the shadows during the Gwent combat. All the rest it's pretty much the same, okay, and you get around 50 frames per second, which is more than playable. But again, if you want to play with the eye settings and having 30 frames per second or lower in these sequences, it's not going to prevent you from enjoying the game or liking it. So talking a little bit more about the game, I'm not really sure if I like this type of games. This is kind of an adventure game. It has pretty much almost nothing related with the gameplay that you did found on The Witcher. Although yeah, the story, the environment, the cities or the villages or the towns are pretty much inside all the Witcher lore. Okay, this is entirely the Witcher lore, but still the gameplay it's completely different. Again, this is a Gwent game where you have an adventure, an RPG style, but since I didn't play too much because this is not really my style, this is not really my type of game, since I didn't play too much, I don't know what to talk about regarding the gameplay of this game. But one thing for sure, many people are actually enjoying the game. I have read some reviews on the internet, and the grades or marks or evaluations are really good regarding this game. So probably if you like this type of games, you are going to enjoy ThroneBreaker The Witcher Tales. Okay, talking about that, if you want to get the game, you won't be able to get this game on Steam because this is exclusive for the CD Projekt Red store, which is the GOG. The GOG, it is a store that usually releases games in there, or the developers release games in there without DRM, so there is no Denuvo or Steam API DRM or stuff like that, all the games are DRM free, so which means that you can save your game on a CD or on a DVD and it will be yours forever, despite there is no internet or despite the service went down or something like that. That game will be always for you. And in 10 years, for example, Steam might not exist anymore. Let's hope not. Let's hope it continues to exist. That's what I mean. I have a ton of games there, but for some reason, if Steam disappears from the markets, well, your games will disappear too. And with GOG, the games will be always and forever for you, because you can store the games and you can play them whatever you want. There is no need for cracks because there is no DRM, so the store is actually great, but yeah, there isn't too much games as Steam because of the DRM thing. But all the games that you buy there, it will be yours forever, whatever it happens. Okay, that's essentially the GOG premise. So without more stuff to talk, I do hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. If you have any questions regarding anything, just leave on the comment section of the video. And thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
The strays took tail and run! Yes! Our victory is assured! Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
The battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength, prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
I'm a monster.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Aye.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Neve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve.
this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round, through Sodden. They told me, Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, a damn disgrace. Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less?
Gods have mercy. Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood's scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it! Attack!
Fog in broad daylight, with the heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Raymond, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, your grace. It's the first I've seen of any such... thing.
Give me a target.
These carrion eaters. I know them. Appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first. Until, that is, they fill their guts. Seemed to become quite powerful then.
Fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
Should have listened to me old lady.
So fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
Our ballista, your command.
Your grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
Armor won't say. One bolt's all I need.
Curses. Strong as steers they've grown. And they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses. My queen, there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack! Look there! Yet another abomination.
Ugh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
Give me a time.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Lady, the masks they wear. Have you seen them?
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. They hadn't Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have them jabbering right quick.
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question commoners, why, it's simply not proper.
Whom for? I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see. Lead me to them.
Bow low for your sovereign, Her Majesty, Queen Maeve of Lyria and Rivia.
Ha' mercy, Your Grace. We bear no guilt, we simple folk.
Calm your hearts, good folk. Though your queen I may be, you are subjects, not slaves.
Maeve extended a hand, the royal ring gleaming upon it. Unfamiliar with protocol, a pleb gripped it firmly and gave it a shake as hearty as a good scrub in the tub.
My, we shall be addressing one another by name afore long.
This is an outrage! Guards! Grab him!
I've all in hand, Caldwell.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I'm not accustomed, nohow.
Nonsense. You've a firm grip, a spry handshake, and a bold spirit I can respect. What do they call you, man?
Helmer, son of Florence.
Delighted, Helmer. Now understand me, man. I am in dire straits and in need of your aid. So please, answer my queries in full and forthrightly. The bandits, whom do they follow?
Him, my lady. We've seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call him.
My, a blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound? Did he say?
That recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate lies to the south.
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady! I'll be no higher for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say. Your Grace, your orders. What are we to do with them?
The Duke of Dogs fed you, so you've strength enough to carry arms. And as he gave you coin, you've no need of pay from the realm's coffers. Sergeant, all men of 15 summers or more will join our ranks at once. They'll serve 5 years.
No, my lady. No! 'Tis mere weeks to harvest. Who'll tend to fields?
Neve set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust. The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tones.